So yesterday we have completed the OOP concept and the one keyword we saw yesterday, that is the this keyword, right? Today we will see the another topic, that is the exception handling. My screen is visible for everyone. Okay. So what is mean by exception? Exception means, suppose if you see the definition, exception is an unwanted, unexpected event which occur during the execution of program and that disturbs the normal flow of program. That is only called as the exception. What does this mean? If you compare with it in a real life, so suppose we have a daily routine. Okay. Suppose you have a daily routine, you have also daily routine. Suppose I will wake up at 8 o'clock and all. After that, I will ready for the office and I will take the bike. Okay, I will take the bike and I will take the bike. I will go to the search. On the bike, I will go to the search. But sometimes what happens? Suppose my bike will be punctured. Okay, my petrol will be, I mean, in my bike petrol will be over. Like that, exception will be occur. Unwanted or unexpected event will be occur. What is that thing? That is only called as the exception. Okay. Then what is meant by error? Suppose sometimes accident will be happen, right? Sometimes it will not happen, but I'm just telling you. Suppose accident will happen. That is called as the error. We cannot be handled. Suppose my bike got punctured or my petrol got over. What we will do? We will take the another option. Like we will take the rickshaw or we will go by the walk only. Right? But we had an accident. So what we will do? We don't have. We will not go to the search. We will not go to the search. We will stop there, or we have to go to the hospital like that. Right? But if we have a exceptions, what we will do? We will find the alternative way. Suppose our bike will puncture, so we will go by the auto, or we will go by the cab, or we will go by the walk only. Right? It is called as the exception. Exception which is handled, but error which cannot be handled. Okay. So what is meant by exception handling is to handle the exception or to maintain the normal flow. We will find the alternative way. Okay. To, to if we have any unwanted or unexpected event, to maintain the normal flow, which is our normal flow, we have to go to the surge every day, right? We have to go to this surge every day to maintain the not that normal flow. We will find the alternative way to have to solve that exception. That is only called as the exception handling. We will only find the alternative way. We will not remove the exception. We will not repair the exception. We just find the alternative way to handle that exception. That is only called as the exception handling. And what is our motive? Maintain the normal flow of our program. Okay, to maintain the normal flow of program, we are using the exception handling. Okay, sometimes suppose if we take the example, we will come to the eclipse, and here I am writing system.out, and here I am writing one. Okay, and this thing I am printing multiple times. Copy, paste. Okay, this thing I am printing. Suppose it we have one here, then we have two, then we have three here, then four, then five, then six, and suppose we have a seven here. Now if I print this one or if I run this one, so what will be the output we will get? What will be the output we will get now? If I run this one, what will be the output we will get? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 1 to 7 we will get. Suppose I run this one here, so we will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now another thing is that suppose I am writing here 100 divided by 50. Now what will be the output we will get? 100 divided by 50. Error? No. What will be the output we will get here? 100 divided by 50. 1, 2, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. If I run this one, same output, that is the 1, 2, 2, and 4, 5, 6, 7 we will get. Right. If I run this one, so 1, then 2, then 50, 100 divided by 50 means we will get here, then 4, 5, 6, 7. Suppose now if I write here 100 divided by 0. Now what will be the output we will get? What will be the output now we will get? arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception, right? Where here we cannot able to divide 100 means any number by the zero. Suppose if I run this one now also, if I right click here, then wait a minute, my laptop got stuck. Okay. So if I run this one now, run as another Java application. So what we will get? There is the 100 divided by 0. That is the arithmetic exception we will get. Right? What we will get here? That is the arithmetic exception. Right? Here inside this line we are getting the arithmetic exception. Before that, if you see here, 1 and 2 is printing. Here 1 and 2 is printing, but after that 100 divided by 0 means it is here we are getting the arithmetic exception. This is called as the arithmetic exception. If you divide any number by 0, so it will be give you the arithmetic exception. Okay, it will be give you the arithmetic exception, but it is printing 1 and 2. And when it will get the exception, after that it will not print anything. 4 5 6 7 we are getting here. 4 5 6 7 we are not getting here, means it is disturbing our normal flow of program. This is called as the exception. Here if exception occur, it will terminate the program here only. Okay, it will terminate the program here only. It will not print the another thing like 4 5 6 7. It is not printing this thing. If error is occur in this line, it will abnormally terminate the program here only. Okay, abnormally terminate the program here only. That is called as the exception. Exception is unwanted or unexpected event which occur during the execution of the program. When exception is occur during the execution of the program. Okay, and after that, that disturbs the normal flow of program. It is disturbing the normal flow of program also. It is printing 1 and 2, but after that it is not printing 4 5 6 7. That is only called as the exception. Okay, there are multiple ways to handle the exception, like try, catch, finally, throw and throws. We will see later. Before that, we will see first what is the difference between the exception and error. Exception is occur because of our program, and error occur because of lack system resources. Why exception will be occur? Because of our program. Here we have divided 100 divided by 0. That's why exception will be occur. Okay. Suppose what is meant by error? Suppose I want to print anything, but printer is not there. Okay. Suppose I want to print anything, but printer is not there. So what means how why error is occur? Because lack of system resources. That is called as the means lack of resources. Because of lack of system resources, we are getting the error. So error occur because of the lack of system resources, but exception occur because of our program. Okay, after that exception are recoverable, but error not recoverable. If you take the example like accident and the bike puncture, if our bike get punctured, we can take another way. But if we had an accident, so we cannot able to go to the search or any other, we cannot maintain the normal flow of our program or normal flow of our routine, right? After that exception are two types, that is the compile time, or we can say that it is checked exception, or runtime exception, or we can say that it is the unchecked exception. Exception have the two types, checked and unchecked exception. Checked exception is also called as the compile time exception, and unchecked exception is also called as the runtime exception. Okay, and error are only one type, that is the runtime exception or the unchecked exception. Runtime exception also we can call this as a errors. Okay, runtime exceptions are also come into the error. Okay. If you see the hierarchy also, this is the hierarchy of our 1 minute. I will show you. Okay, here is the hierarchy. So this is the hierarchy of our exception. Okay, exception and error. See here, object. First is the object. Object is a parent class object. All the classes which are present inside the Java. Okay, object is the parent class of all the classes which are present inside the Java. After that, throwable class is there. Then exception and the error. Okay, throwable have the two types, that is the exception and the error. Exception having multiple classes like class not found exception, IO exception, no such method exception, SQL exception, the remote exception. The this line, the blue color line, this is called as this is the exceptions. All these are exception, and these are all are the error. Red line are all are the error. As I told you, the runtime exceptions also come into the error. Okay, the runtime exceptions also come into the error part only. So arithmetic exception, class exception, null pointer exception, these all are the exception only, and these all are the errors. That is the assertion error, linkage error, virtual machine error. These all are the error only, and these all are the exception only. This thing, that is the class not found exception, IO exception. These all are the cheat exception, or we can say that that is the compile time exception. And these all are the runtime exception. These all the things are the runtime exception. If we know, means as we do the program one by one, and if we see the another topic and all, that time you will be easily understand which is what is the this type of error, which type of error is this. Like that you will be understand. If I explain you one by one, it will be take lots of time. Okay, so I will explain you means small things only here. And you have to means you have to know that means how null pointer exception will come, how index of array index out of bound will become. You will be get that after you will see collection and all. After you will be get that. Okay, so now exception and error. Suppose here exception is come. Okay, now exception is come here inside this line. What will be happen inside? Now we knows that like if we run this one, so one will print first. After that two will be print. After that exception will come here. Which type of exception will come? That is the arithmetic exception. Now we knows that what is meant by arithmetic exception. If we divide any number by 0, so arithmetic exception will become. Okay, here arithmetic expression is coming, and after that nothing is printing on the console. Our program is abnormally terminated here. But what will be the flow which will happen inside? Okay, what will be the flow? If exception will occur, so what it will be do? Whenever there is an exception, the method in which exception occur will create an object, and that object will store everything. So what it is saying? Suppose we have an error here. So simply I will copy this thing and will come to the paint. Okay, here. And what I'm doing, simply I will paste the program here. If exception is occur, so what it will be do? The method in which exception is occur. Okay, in which method exception is occur now? So in this method now exception is occur. Which method is this? That is the main method. Inside the main method we have an exception now. So what it will do? This main method will create an object. This method main method will create an object like that. Wait a minute. Okay, this method will be create an object like that, and inside that object it will add three things. Okay, whenever exception will occur, so what it will do? The method in which exception is occur, in which method exception is occur? Inside the main method. This method will be create an object. In that object it will add three things. Which things? That is the exception name, then description, and then stack trace. Okay, inside this object it will add three things. First is the exception name. We can say that that is the class name also. Okay, after that what it will be add? That is the description. Okay, it will be a description. So simply I will write here description, and after that what it will be add? That is the stack. Okay, what is meant by exception name? Like a class name, which type of exception occur in this line, like arithmetic exception or the null pointer exception, it will be shown on this line. That is the exception name. After that what is meant by description? So how, why this exception is occur in this line, it will be show you in the description. And what is meant by stack trace? On which line, on which package, on which class this exception is occur, it will be print you in the stack trace. Okay, exception name means that is the class name, which type of exception is occur, so it will be showing the exception name. In the description, why this exception is occurred, it will be show you in the description. On which line exception is occurred, on which class exception is occurred, it will be show you in the stack trace. Now what will happen now? Till now what happened? So the exception is occurred in this line. Is the after two exceptions occurred in this line. So one is printed, is printed, after that exception is occurred. So what it will be do? In method in which exception is occurred, that except that method will create an object. So this method have created an object. What it will do? It will ask to JVM. JVM will ask to this method. Okay, not this method will not ask to JVM. JVM will ask to this method, do you handling the exception or not? Okay, JVM will ask to that method, do you handling the exception or not? If that method is handling the exception, so it will be print whatever write we will write inside the try catch. We will see this. Okay, it will be whatever things we are write inside the try catch, it will be print that. Otherwise, it will give that exception to the default exception handler, and that default exception handler simply print that object. Whatever things we have inside that object, that thing will be print on the console. Who will print that? That is the default exception handler. here inside the eclipse. If we come here, so here we have a one here. After that, two, and in this line we have a exception. So we are handling the exception here or not? So no, we are not used here try and catch anything here. No, no. So we are not handling the exception here. What JVM will do? JVM will ask to our method like you are handling the exception or not. So this time we are not handling any exception. So what it will do? Whatever object we have created here means what we have created, that method in which the exception is occurred. So that object will be passed to the default exception handler. JVM will pass that object to the default exception handler. Default exception handler will print that object. Okay, default exception handler will print that object, and in that object what we have, that is the exception name, description, and this tag trace also. Now we will try to print this one simply. Again we will try to print this one simply. If I run as Java application, see here, first thing is the exception in thread. First thing is the this one, that is the java.lang.arithmetic exception. This is our exception name. Which type of exception we have in that line, so it will be show that java.lang.arithmetic exception. This is our exception name, right? This is our exception name. After that, description. So divided by 0. Why exception is occur? When we divide by 0, that time arithmetic exception will come. So this is our description, right? Another thing we have, that is the description. Now another thing, that is the third thing. At November means this is my package and this is my basic program.taste.main. Sorry, this is my project. Then this is my package and this is my class and this is my main method. In this on this line, that is on the ninth line, we have an exception. It will be show that. What is this? This is our stack trace. Okay, this is our stack trace. Our object contains three things like exception name, then description, and we have a stack trace also. This time we are not handling the exception. So what JVM will do? JVM will ask to our main method, do you handling the exception or not? Here we are not handling any exception. What it will do? It will give that object the default exception handler, and default exception handler will print that object. Inside this object, what we have is the three things: exception name, description, and stack trace. So it will be print this object on the console. So see, it is printing that object only. Because the first is the exception name, then we have a description, and then we have a stack trace. Okay, so when exception will occur, this thing will be happen. Another thing is that another thing I forget that this thing. So when exception will occur, so what will happen? First it will be abnormally terminate the program here. Okay, first it will be abnormally terminate the program here only. After that it will be create an object. Okay, first it will be abnormally terminate the program here only. After that, whatever method in which exception is occur, that method will create an object. Okay, the method in which exception is occur, that method will be create an object. Inside that object it will add three things: exception name, description, and stack trace. Okay, after that JVM will ask to that method like you are handling the exception or not. So if it is handling the exception, so it will print try and catch. But if it is not handling the exception, so it will give that object to default exception handler, and a default exception handler will print that object simply. Right, now we will try to handle this exception. To handle that exception, we have a much more things like try, catch, finally, throw, and throws. Today we will see try and catch. Simply we will come here. What is our motive? We have to maintain our normal flow of program. Okay, what is our motive? We have to maintain the normal flow of program. We are not repair the exception, or we are not removing our exception. Just we will find the alternative way to handle this exception. How we will find that? First thing we will use, that is the try and the catch. Okay, first thing we will write here, that is the try and the catch. So how we will write try and catch? So simply here I will show you the syntax. Okay, I will show you the syntax here. First we need to try, if you want to write the try and catch, so first we need to write the try. Okay, after that we have to write here semicolon open. Okay, after that here what we need to do, inside the try block we have to write here risky code. Inside the try block we have to write a risky code. After that here curly braces close. This is our try block. From here our try block is started. Here our try block will be end. Inside the try, what we will write, that is the risky code we will write inside our try block. After that, in the try we have to write here the catch block. Okay, inside the catch block we have to write a exception name or the exception class we have to write, and with the help of exception class we have to write a reference. Okay, we have to write a reference variable with the catch. And after that again we have to write a catch block here, but in the catch what we will write here, we have to write a handling code. Okay, simple. Inside the catch block we have to write a handling code. Inside the risky code, what is meant by risky code? In which line exception will be occur? Maybe in this line exception will occur. That line we will write inside our try block. Suppose here, if you look into this one, so which is our risky code? Here, this thing. That is our third line will be our risky code. We know that in this line maybe exception will occur. So this line we will write into the risky code. And after that, handling code means what? If exception will occur, so what it have to print? Okay, if exception will occur, what other thing it have to print? That thing we will write into the catch block. Okay, that thing we will write into the catch block. Now we will see the program. Simple, we will come here and we have to write a try block. So where we will write here, because in the third line we know that in the third line our exception will come. So I will write here try block. Inside the try block, what we need to write? Risky code. So which is our risky code? This one. This line our risky code. We know that maybe in this line our exception will be occur. So I will write this line here. Okay. After that, simply I have to write when exception is occur to, we have to print something. No. So I will write here catch block, and here I will write exception. Which exception will be come into this line? Okay, which exception will be come into this line? That exception you can write here. Otherwise, if I show you the hierarchy, inside the hierarchy, exception class is a parent class of the all the exception which are present inside the Java. So you can write the parent class also. Okay, because in the exception all the classes will be present, because this is our parent class, and these are all are the child class. If you are writing exception class, there is a parent class also, that is also okay. If you are writing the exact class, like suppose arithmetic exception is coming now, if you are writing arithmetic exception also, so that is also okay. Okay, so now I am writing here, knows that the arithmetic exception will come. I will write here simply arithmetic exception. With the help of the arithmetic exception, I have to write a reference. Okay, I have to write a reference variable here. After that, simply if exception will occur, something we have to put. So I am writing here system out, and here I am writing cannot divide by 0. Simply I'm writing here cannot divide by 0. Okay, same thing I'm writing here. So first I have wrote here try block. Inside the try block I'm writing a risky code. Maybe in this line exception will occur, so that thing I'm writing in the try block. After that I wrote here the catch block. Inside the catch block I have wrote here the exception class name, okay, or exception name or exception class name. With that I'm writing here the one reference. Inside the catch block I'm writing the handling code. Means sometimes exception will come here, what it have to print, that thing I'm writing here into the catch block. And whenever exception will become, that time only it will become into the catch block. When exception will become, that time only it will come to the catch block, otherwise it will be not coming to the catch block. Okay, now if I run this one, to see what will be the output we will get. See, 1 2, then cannot divide by 0, then 4 5 6 7. Okay, so what happened here? So here BVM will come into the main method. After that, 1 it will be print. After that, 2 it will be print. After that, here it will be come into the try block. Here we are writing the risky code. So 100 divided by 0 means exception will occur here. So what it will be do? BVM will ask to this method. In the method in which exception will occur, that BVM will ask to that method. Okay, sorry. Before that, what it will do? The method in which exception is occur, that method will be create an object like that. It will be create an object first, and inside that object it will be creating exception name, description, and stack trace. After that, JVM will ask to this method, do you handling the exception or not? So this time we are handling the exception, right? So whatever handling code we are writing there, it will be print on the console. So what we wrote here is the cannot divide by 0. It will be print on the console. After that, it will maintain the normal flow of program. It is not abnormally terminated program also. See here, 4 5 6 7 is printing on the console also. If you are not writing the try and catch, see here, if I not write here try and catch, try, okay, if you are not writing try and catch, so this time not audible. I'm not audible. So guys, I'm not audible. Hello. Okay. Okay. So here, what we did simply we have used try and catch, right? If we use try and catch, simply if I use here try and catch block. Okay, so if I use try and catch block, so it will not abnormally terminate our program. Okay, if I use here try and catch, so it will not abnormally terminate our program. If I run this one now, so what it will do, it will print 1, then 2, then it will be see this line, that is the 100 divided by 0. If it see 100 divided by 0, so what it will do, the method in which exception will occur, that method will create an object like that. In that object, it will print three things. There is the exception name, description, and the stack trace. After that, JVM will ask to that method. Okay, JVM will ask to that method like if you are handling the exception or not. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, JVM will ask to that method like if you are handling the exception or not. If you are handling the exception, then whatever we write inside the catch block, that it will be print. Means whatever we write inside the handling code, that it will be print on the console. Otherwise, if you are not handling the exception, JVM will give that object to the default exception handler, and default exception handler will print that object. But this time here we are handling the exception. Here we are handling the exception. So what JVM will do? JVM will come to the catch block and will print cannot divide by 0 on the console, and after that it will print, it will maintain the normal of our program also. So here we are not removing the exception, or here we are not preparing the exception, just we are finding the alternative ways to handle this exception. If this exception will occur, so this thing we have to print. So we are finding the means alternative ways to handle the exception. We are not removing the exception from here. Okay, so that is only meaning of the exception. Suppose if I am not write here try and catch, if I not write the try and catch, so what happened that time, it will the abnormally terminate the program here only. See here, if I run this one, so if I not write here try and catch block, so what it will be do, it will be abnormally terminate the program here only. Means JVM will first execute this one, two. After that, it will see this line. Exception is occur on this line. So what JVM will do? JVM will abnormally terminate the program here only. After that, it will create an object. The same thing. Inside that object, you will add three things: exception name, description, and stack trace. Then JVM will ask to this method like if you are handling the exception or not. If it is handling the exception, then it will print whatever we write inside the catch block. If we are not handling the exception, so JVM will give that object to the default exception handler, and default exception handler will print that. Okay, default exception handler will print that. But we don't want to interrupt our normal flow. So for that, what we will do? Simply we'll use here try and the catch block. Inside the try block, we will write here the risky code, and inside the catch block, we will write the handling code. Means whenever the exception will occur into this line, so what it have to print, that we will write inside the catch block. Okay, that thing we are writing into the catch block. So now here, if exception is occur on this line, so it is printing cannot divide by 0, right? If I run this one now, so 1 2, then cannot divide by 0, and it is not disturbing our normal flow of program also. It is maintaining the normal flow of program also. It is printing 4 5 6 7 also this time, right? So what is our motive? We have to maintain the normal flow of program also here. Now this time, if I write here 100 divided by 50, so what will be the output we will get now? Can it will be come to the catch block? Can it will be come to the catch block? Yes, no. It will be come to the catch block this time or not? Cannot divide by 0, will be, it will be print or not? No, no. Okay. If I run this one here, see, so 1 2 2, then 4 5 6 7 it is printing. Why it is not printing the catch block? So it will print 1 first, then it will print 2, then it will be see this line 100 divided by 50. It is not creating any exception, right? It is not getting, we are not getting any exception on this line, right? 100 divided by 50 means directly 2 we are getting on the console. So it will print 2 on the console. And when it will become to the catch block, when we have an exception on this risky code, that time only it will become to the catch block. Otherwise it will be not come to the catch block. And after that it will print 4 5 6 7. If I write here 100 divided by 0 this time, so this time it will be come to the catch block. See, cannot divide by 0. Okay, after that, if I write here exception only, that is the arithmetic expression I'm removing. Suppose I'm writing only exception E, and if I run this one now, so it is handling the exception this time also, because the exception is a parent class of the all the classes played inside the Java. Can we write to catch with the single try? So we will try to write here. So I will write here like that. Okay, so this time I have wrote here to catch. This time here I'm writing arithmetic exception class, and after that here I'm writing the exception. Okay, I have wrote to catch for the single try here, try then catch. So can we able to write? So here if I write here, I will write 1 and here I'm writing 2 simply. Okay, 1 and 2 I'm writing here. If I run this one now, so what will be the output we will get here only? Just tell me from here. So 1 we will print, 2 it will be print, or 1 or 2 it will be print, both the things. Vinisha is saying 1. Okay. Anyone have any another answer? Exception will come, so it will be come to the catch blocks. But in which catch block it will be goes? 1 and 2. Okay. So Dura is saying 1 and 2. Okay. See, if I run this one now, so 1, 2, 1 it is printing. Not 2 it is printing. Why it is not printing 2? See, if exception will come into this line, so it will be goes to the catch block. But which catch block it will be go? So it will be see which type of exception it have. So this is a arithmetic exception, right? This is the arithmetic exception. So where is the arithmetic exception? Here. So it will be print 1 on the console. So when it will be go to the exception class. Okay, when it will be goes to the exception class. Suppose we have here the different exception. Suppose we have here null pointer exception. Okay, suppose we have here null point exception. Now what it will be print? What will be print now? 2, right? 2. Here we have a here we have arithmetic exception. So it will be C, the array catch block with the arithmetic exception. Here is the catch block with the arithmetic exception. So no, this is the null pointer exception. So it will become to the exception class. It is the parent class of the except all the exception which are present inside Java. Means all the exception are present inside this single class. So it will become here and will print 2 on the console. See if I run this one now also. So it will print 2 on the console. See 1, 2, 2. It will be print on the console. Okay. Now if I write here the suppose if I write here exception class first, and after that if I write here arithmetic. So can we able to write like that? So we cannot able to write like that. If you are writing parent class first and if you are writing the child class later, so you cannot able to write like that, because all the exception is handling here. So why you are writing the catch block here? If you are if you have a arithmetic exception, so it will be handled here. If you have null pointer exception, so it will be handled here. If you have any exception, so all the exception will be handled here. Okay. So why you are writing the child class after the parent class? So if you are writing parent class first, so you cannot able to write the child class. Okay, we have to remove this one. Okay, so this is the thing you have to remember that. Now another thing, can we write single catch with the two try block? If I write here another try block, so we cannot able to write. We can write multiple catches block with the single try block, but we cannot able to write single catch block with the multiple try block. This thing you must have to remember that. Okay, and another thing is that you have to remember that if you are writing parent class first and after that you are writing the child class exceptions, you cannot able to write that because all the exception will be handled by the parent class. So that is the useless. After if you are writing child class, so that will be the useless, means you cannot able to write that. Okay, and what is our motive uh, to means learn the exception handling? If you are any exception will become, so that time you are finding the alternative ways to handle that exception. We are not removing the exception, or we are not repairing that exception, just we are finding alternative way to handle the exception. If exception will become, this thing it have to print, we are seeing here. Okay, after that here the finally, what is meant by finally block? So finally block is very easy. So what is meant by finally block? Whenever if you want to write if you see here inside the looping statement, we have a do while, right? If condition will be true or condition will be wrong, so that time do while will be execute. Anytime do will be execute. Okay, but here inside the finally also we are seeing the same thing. If exception will occur or if exception will not occur, finally we will be execute on every time. Final will be execute every time. System dot type I am writing here, and here I am writing finally. Okay, here we are writing the finally. So why we are using the finally? To write a cleanup code. To write a cleanup code, we are simply writing the finally block. Okay, to write a cleanup code, simply we are writing here the final block. So I will write here finally. Okay, and inside the finally what we will write, that is the cleanup code. Okay, this is the cleanup code we are writing here. After that here finally block. Okay, so try, catch, and the finally. Okay, so we will see this finally block tomorrow. Now means if I tell you finally and try and catch the same time only, so you will be confused. So you will see this finally block tomorrow. Now just remember that finally block what we are writing for the cleanup code. Okay, and when finally will be execute, finally will be execute all the time. Okay, okay, so anyone have any doubt till here? Anyone have any doubt? Anyone have any doubt till here? Okay. Okay. If you are doubt also, you can ask me. I will help you definitely. Okay. So that's it for today, guys. If you have any doubt, please ask me. And today's assignment is that you have to create a program on the try and catch, and you have to submit on the group. Okay. So thank you for your time, guys.